All right, now for a pretty famous piece that I know many of you are saying that, how is this art? But I think if you remember back to my lecture on the fountain, there's it's art is in at this time art is what the artist said. So we're going to learn a little bit about what this artist believed and the influence this piece has, which is number 136. It's called Composition in Red, Blue, and Yellow, which is interesting because all of his pieces have red, blue, and yellow, but this is this is one that you guys need to know, on the one on the right. So this is part of the Destijl movement. That's spelled capital D-E, capital S-T-I-J-L, and it's one word, and it means the style, not a style, the style. So Destijl was a movement that was symbolized mostly by Piet Mondrian, and it reached its height between 1917 and 1930. And at its purest, Destijl paintings are completely abstract. There's no subject. Even the titles make no reference to nature. They are planned on a white background and use black lines to shape the rectangular spaces. And only 3 primary colors are used, red, yellow, and blue, and they are painted without modulation. Lines can only be placed perpendicularly. Diagonals are forbidden. And so Mondrian called this artistic style neoplasticism. And this is oil on canvas. So Mondrian is going to take a trip to Paris in 1912 and encounters Cubism. And after that, he began to experiment more with abstracting subject matter like animals, trees, and landscapes, and really trying to search for their essential form. And eventually that's what leads Mondrian to accomplish the goal of Destijl, which he thought was universal beauty by eliminating everything else that's subjective or sensual from his painting. Destijl artists felt that they had a mission to carry abstraction to what they termed its ultimate goal. And he got a lot of his ideas by following Schoemaker's ideas of theosophy, as expressed in his 1915 book, New Image of the World. Theosophy is an esoteric form of knowledge that offers individual enlightenment that tries to discover a coherent origin and purpose of the universe. In the book, he argued that the inner visual construction of nature consisted of balance between opposite forces. It could include heat and cold, male and female, and even order versus disorder. And he believed that artists might represent this inner construction in abstract paintings by using only horizontal and vertical lines and primary colors. So Mondrian's paintings are visual embodiments of both Schoenmaker's theories and the Destijl's artistic ideas. So this piece uses the primary colors with neutrals. The neutrals would be white and black, and on a grid of horizontal and vertical lines in search for the essence of higher beauty and a balance of forces. The opposing lines and colors balance a harmony of opposites, which he called a dynamic equilibrium. He did this by carefully plotting an arrangement of colors, shapes, and visual weights grouped asymmetrically around the edges of the canvas, where more neutral colors are there to balance the main color, which is red. And Mondrian hoped Destijl would have applications in the real world by creating an entirely new visual environment for living, designed accordingly to the rules of universal beauty, and that when balanced perfectly, it would bring equilibrium and purity to the world. He also said that he hoped that he would be the world's last artist, because when universal beauty is infused into all our aspects of life, there would no longer be a need for art. Um, that is composition in red, blue, and yellow. And there's a wide variety of different organization of this same type of painting, which you can see on the lower left corner. Mondrian made many of these in different sizes and shapes and on different size of canvases. And so this one, I'm not sure what is this one. This one is in Zurich, Switzerland, but I've seen other Mondrian pieces in both the Tate Modern in London, the MoMA in New York. I think there's a Mondrian in the LA's Museum of Modern Art, and then also I've seen it in the Pompidou in Paris. So there's plenty of these to show his beliefs. I think it's a little bit interesting. He thought he'd be the last great artist, but that is also the idea that World War I was the last great war, right? Okay, that's it.